Brother, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling.
All right, good, good. We got past the holiday.
Oh yeah.
Um, I had a good time. I enjoyed the time off from work. Let me say that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I work the next day. I work like Friday. I mean, not retail or nothing, so it's just a regular day at work for me.
Right, all right.
But I
You
was off on
usually work
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving anyway, so it
I
was,
normally do, but I was off, so I got to
yeah.
see y'all for a hot second. Move a couch. Uh, um, man, I guess real quick before we get going too far, I wanted to say I appreciate the effort on our parents' part because they listened to the podcast last week
Which was funny.
and then they ended up trying to go out and get pretty much everything that we suggested for favorites,
Thanksgiving. Yeah,
Thanksgiving favorites,
it's
um,
hilarious.
even to the brand name and everything. So that wasn't intentional by no
No, not at all.
means. But yeah, I appreciate the effort that they actually went out and tried to get it. But the funny part, because we was talking about it, the funny part about it is it's all stuff that they did when we were kids, which is why they are favorites of ours.
Right,
It's not like we just pulled them out of the sky or anything like that. Like it's
right.
because we got it from them.
But we haven't had that specific meal in so many years. So that's the reason why it was like a, I don't want to say nostalgia type deal, but maybe they went back and tried to get all the old favorites there because that's what we remember. Like you said, that's what we remember. And I think everybody is specific to what they remember as a child.
Right.
You know, even though if you get married or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you specifically like what you had at home or your grandmama's house or whatever. So when you go visit somebody else's house, you might pick around everything that they might be,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, eating with their hands, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And now that's something else. I mean, it's kind of food related, but it's kind of going off on another subject. People, I don't want you to judge nobody on their eating habits because they probably got it from their parents. So don't judge them, judge their parents. So if you meet somebody that puts sugar on their grits, it's probably not their fault. Somebody gave them that idea. You know what I mean? Like it didn't randomly come up in their head. So
Or like ketchup on eggs.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird to me, like ketchup
me
on eggs.
too.
It's weird to me, but somebody that's normal, it's completely normal. You know what I mean?
Right,
They're looking at you like you don't put ketchup on your eggs.
right.
Everybody in my household used to do that, so it's not
Or sugar on
necessarily
your grits.
right. Right.
I do that.
I was telling I was telling I was saying I used to put sugar on my green beans because my
What?
mama did it. Yeah, mama put sugar on green beans, so I used to
I
do
don't
that.
remember that.
Yep. The
Nah, bro. You
the
on your
what's the
own.
name? Nah, I'm not on my own. That's the
Where was where
thing.
was
That's
where
the
was
whole
I?
thing.
That's my
Dude,
thing.
I don't know, but it's the thing. She did it. She probably still do it. So um,
If you say so. If you
I
say
don't
so.
do it no more as a grown man. Like I'm not putting. I don't put sugar in grits no more. You know
Hey
what
man,
I mean?
I still do that.
Nah, I don't. It thin it
Salt,
out too much.
salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. That's all you need, baby.
Yeah, salt and pepper. You say you put sugar on it. What you mean? That's all you need?
I'm talking about pretty much on everything, but I do
Uh,
put sugar on my grits still.
uh, that sounds
Yeah.
southern. You in the South now, man. You gotta adapt.
Say unsouthern.
Yeah. My cousin Vinny, you gotta know how to cook a grit.
A grit, yeah.
Are these magical grits that you were cooking?
That's funny.
Were they instant? No. What do you say? No, no Southern man would use instant grits. I do use instant grits though, because I ain't got time for all that.
Get in, get out.
Yeah,
Get in, get out, baby.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry now.
Oh man. So what you think about that Tyson and Roy Jones fight?
Man, glad I got to see it.
Yeah, I appreciate the
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. We got to see it. It was okay. So I didn't watch the whole thing. I just kind of jumped in at the Nate fight. Nate versus I think what's that dude named Logan?
Jake
Jake
Paul.
Paul. Jake Paul. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, if you don't box. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what his thought process was.
Oh, you talking about Nate Robinson?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Jake been doing this for a minute now. You know what I mean? Just like his fourth
This
or
is
fifth
third.
fight.
Nah, when
Was
was
it?
it?
I think it's at least his fourth, maybe third. I don't know, man. I don't keep up with this cat because he's a YouTube celebrity that is non-existent to me. I mean, I just don't. I don't. I didn't. I never watched his content.
Nah,
No
me
shot to
either.
him. I'm sure he has tons of followers and people that The only thing I've heard out of it was like the negative press that he got, just because that went worldwide. But I mean, he's been doing his thing in boxing. Like I think he has a winning record, right? I don't think he's lost yet. So I mean, big ups to Nate for trying to step in and do something. But
Yeah.
it's a different game, as Snoop said. Like you, you need to know how to box the box. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
can't just
Snoop
be
was a great commentator.
ah man, Snoop did his thing. He's hilarious. But so my hats off to Nate for getting in there and trying. I mean, he gave it the old college try and got laid out for it.
Old college try.
I mean, what
Man,
was it,
can I?
three knockdowns?
Man, that was so funny. Can I share my screen? I was
Yeah.
look at these memes of
Man, don't do it.
all right, I won't do it again. No, but the memes of Nate Robinson falling down, and like you got the him as an NBA sign. Have you
Oh
seen
my
that one?
God, nah,
He said
man.
never boxing again instead of NBA. The him laying down with Woody and Buzz Lightyear, Toy Story, when they all fell down.
Oh man,
Whenever Andy come back in the room.
you know what I thought of though? I thought of Creed when he got because like it's a part in the first Creed where he gets knocked out and like he legit got knocked out. Like Michael B. Jordan on set got knocked out because that's a Rocky thing. Like everybody got to take a real punch. And he legit got knocked out for that. And that's exactly how Nate went down, the same way. And just, I mean, that last punch was just so nasty. I thought he should have stayed down after that second one, personally.
Really should have.
And he didn't have his legs up under him when he got back up. And the ref really should have stopped it because even after the first one, I think he got up on 9 and the ref kept asking for his gloves and he wasn't giving them.
Yeah, he had his head on his head.
Yeah.
He got hit on the back of the head. He was like, man, it's like, dude.
It's 5 of them in here.
Never. But he went in so hot though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that was about.
Nah, I mean, it's just they've been talking trash to lead up and everything on social media and all that type of stuff. I mean, that's not an excuse to go in there uncontrolled. But and then on top of that, it looked like either Nate or Jake, one of the two. I think it was Nate though. Is a lefty, right? He's unorthodox fighter. So pretty much when you're an unorthodox fighter and you're fighting traditional, then both of your feet are pretty much touching. So if you haven't prepared for that, like it's going to throw your game plan off. And you're going to clash a lot. Like you're going to headbutt a lot because you're going to lean. You both are leaning the same way. So that's stuff that you got to take in consideration. I'm not sure he did that. I think Jake did. That's why he's trying to get a little bit more separation so he can land those blows.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly like you said. Jake has been doing that for a minute. So he knows what's going on. He first tried to gauge Nate in the first round. It was like, he coming at me wild and crazy. So let me adjust. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, hands down, man. I mean, Nate was out. He was out. And to the point where he couldn't even sit on the stool, man. I felt bad for him, man. Like I was like, oh my God. Like somebody come help this man. Snoop, after that second knockdown, was singing Negro spirituals. So I was like, oh my God, this is stupid.
People are so quick. I sent you a screenshot of the Call of Duty and him in the gulag. Man, people are so quick to do all these things.
The internet is undefeated, bro.
Undefeated.
Like, you cannot do anything without them coming for you. Like, it's bad. You got, other people coming out like, man, leave Nate alone. Like, he kind of did it to himself. He should have left that ring alone.
Exactly.
Hopefully he's good and he's healthy. And, I just hope he don't try this again. Or if he does, I'm not saying he can't, but train. everybody
Absolutely.
prepared for something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe it was something he was knocking off his bucket list. Maybe it was something he was always wanted to do. He was an athlete, so maybe he figured he'll just dip his toe in that and see if he if he
They
liked it or
said
not.
he had just tried out for the NFL like not too long ago. So I don't know, man. I don't know what he doing. I mean, I'm sure he probably plays a lot of different sports growing up, but like you're a grown man now, and it's a different level, especially when you haven't been doing it consistently in that profession for all this time. So you got to take that stuff in consideration. I think I can box a little bit, but I'm not jumping in the ring with nobody without proper training. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like somebody needs to train me first, unless we doing headgear amateur.
I think Nate was like 36, 37, and Jake was like, I think 23. So it was like a 13-year age difference. So I know his ego gotta, be feeling something also, not only by getting knocked out, but also getting knocked out by the young dude.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah.
But then the concerts were cool too. I see a lot of people getting a lot of hate on the concerts, but like I mess with them.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, it was a good little I thought it was a cool little format. Like just instead of giving commercials, you gave some entertainment in between rounds. Like because most of the time,
I see in the future though, getting the different types of artists, not just one genre.
Oh yeah. I can see that, but I mean, when you got to tailor towards your headliner, right? The headliner's Mike Tyson, your headliner's Roy Jones Jr. Like, what else you gonna play?
Well, I understand that, you know what I'm saying, but you got other, prelim boxing matches that was happening, and by far, I know Jake Paul was, I don't want to say that he was the favorite out of him and Nate Robinson, so I would have played something that he wanted to play, and maybe he, you know what I'm saying, maybe he wanted to hear one of those other artists,
Right.
I don't know that, but I only say that because because he's white, but music is, jumps across, color lines, of course. So, I would just, just use some different diversity, I would say.
Yeah. What did Jake come out to? Because whatever his come out song was a direct diss to Nate Robertson. I can't remember what it was though.
Was it?
Oh, he came out to "We're playing basketball." We're playing basket. I was like,
Curtis
"Oh my god, man!
He did.
What are we doing? Like, this is how we going?" I actually followed I downloaded one of the artist's albums that I've heard before, but like I was like, man, you know what? I want to check out his album. I like this little part in the concert, and that's just escaped me that fast. He from Brooklyn.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Hold on. Two secs. St. John.
Ah, you ain't never heard it, St. John stuff before?
Not full album. Not his full album. So I went on ahead.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he got a lot of energy.
Oh yeah. He remind you of like a Future-ish, well, actually a slash between Future and his alter ego.
Hendrix.
No. Who the guy that tried to come out to put up against Future?
Who did? Yeah. God, I know who you're talking about. He did Panda.
Panda, yeah. What is that dude's name? Panda. Goodness, why is it taking so long for me to pull this up?
Because Panda's not the song.
Designer,
yeah.
Yeah. That's what his energy reminded me of. Like hyping all over the place, like Designer, all over the place.
Yeah. But
but he has control with his stuff, not like Designer.
Yeah, Designer's way out of control. Like he just got that young man energy. He's just hyping, hopping all around the stage or wherever he at. But the main fight, Roy versus Tyson, I was really impressed with Tyson.
I was impressed with Roy also.
I was. Roy looked good. He gassed out.
He did.
Gassed out. And I heard somebody say this earlier, that they both fought in their styles, right? In their signature styles from years of training. So Roy is used to being a quick fighter that can, jab out.
In and out,
with some combos and then, kind of slip. And that worked when he was young. He's a little older now. So like that jab out, that slip, it's a little slower. So, it looked good, but it looked good because they both a little older.
Older, right?
You get
Exactly.
a young cat in there, like Rory wouldn't. He couldn't even left that ring, and then that's another thing. The ring was smaller, which is
Right.
there too. So
I think it would have been good for him. Like it's like basketball players, you know what I'm saying? When you young, you coming in fresh, you dunking all over people. But then as you get older, you develop the game like Kobe and Michael and LeBron. You start to do outside stuff. You move to do something else because you can't do what you used to do anymore. So yeah, I understand what you was getting at with that. But I think that overall, I think Mike Tyson did win that fight.
Oh, 100%.
I think both of them did a great job. I think it was a good look for everybody. I think everybody wanted to see that. I don't want to say everybody, but I think a lot of people wanted to see that fight, in the heyday.
Yeah.
But I think that we are okay with what we got.
It was a good outcome, man. Like it was a great fight. I think both of them still have a lot of respect for each other. Because Mike said that Rory caught him at one point with I think it was a hook.
Yeah, it was a right hook or something.
Yeah. So, and of course, Rory definitely got respect for Mike's power because them body shots added up, which is why one of the reasons
he was holding his stomach.
Anytime at the end when Mike like, let's do this again, he's like, I gotta talk to my family in Pensacola. Like,
right.
You don't really want to get in there. Like, hey man, y'all just tell everybody y'all don't want me to do it no more.
Right.
Face like,
he kept bigging up Pensacola a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean he's been repping it since day one, so that's his thing. And Mike is funny to me, man. Like some of the stuff that man say, like before the fight, he was like, I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna play defense, and I'm gonna throw shots with bad intentions. I'm like, who says that? Like, this is for charity, Mike. Calm down.
Right.
And then even at the end, he was like, he basically said he went 8 rounds because he wanted to show that he could go 8 rounds, which he looked good in 8 rounds. Like he looked
like 2-minute
went,
rounds.
Yeah, true. But he looked like he could have went further, which is, I think, kind of the point of his conditioning. He dropped 100 pounds. He looked good. He was moving. Every time he got in, Roy just locked him up because, you don't want Mike Tyson hitting you like that. Roy tried to lean on him, which gassed you out, but it didn't gas out Mike. Mike still had gas in the tank. He wasn't sitting down in between every round. Like he was ready to go.
Yeah, you saw Roy over there huffing and puffing on the stool. Mike over there just breathing.
It almost felt like, especially in probably the first 6 rounds, it seemed like Rory was contemplating not coming back out every day. You know what I mean? Like he was like, do I really want to do this? Like I'm tired, man. Like this dude over here, like a caged animal. Like
I'm tired. I'm hurting.
Yeah.
I won't feel this tomorrow.
Man. Mike, one of the things he said in the post interview that got me was when he was like, the commentator or the interviewer went to Roy, was like, hey, were you ever worried about your safety? Were you ever worried that you'll get hurt? And Mike snatched the microphone.
He said, what about me?
Why everybody worried about Roy? What about me? He was like, he just got out the game like 10 years ago. I haven't, 3 years was the last time. Yeah. He was like, I ain't fought in 15 years, but everybody's worried about this guy. Like, what about me? What if I get hurt? I was like, it's a fair point, but like, you don't think about that for Mike Tyson, especially when you see them training videos of him hitting them bags, and then you say the guy holding the bags for him had a detached shoulder.
Right. I tell you right there, you on some Ivan Drago type stuff.
Bro, you hitting too hard, Mike. You got to learn how to train, man, versus like going full throttle. So
do you see boxing going in that direction now that we're in this COVID type thing?
What you mean, like a older or?
I mean, like not online, but like because there's not a lot of people in this audience and stands and stuff like that. Yeah. So instead of people actually being there, they want to give you the entertainment factor, like we were just talking about. So you see that more going forward, and like HBO, what I'm saying, Showbox or whatever.
I mean, I think it would help to give entertainment, to put entertainment back into boxing, because that's one of the reasons why boxing dies, because it got boring. Hats off to Mayweather, Floyd. He's pound for pound one of, if not the best boxer out there, especially with his title reign, his accolades and everything. But his point system boxing made boxing boring, which is why a lot of people left that sport, or their interest kind of moved away from that sport and more into the UFC, where it's like they're going at it, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, most of the time. So and a lot of boxers that came after Floyd kind of does do that. They're not looking for them home run hits. They're looking to score points and
Right.
make it 12 rounds, which is, I mean, it's not exciting. So hopefully we can get some excitement back into boxing, because even, I mean, this wasn't the most exciting, because like there weren't that many solid hits, between Roy and Mike, but it was good action. They
And it
kept
was
them.
and good commentating.
Yeah, and good commentating. Yeah, yeah. Man, give Snoop a job, man.
Right.
I've heard Bill Burr do commentating for like boxing before, and he did a good job. Like, if it's like, hire some of these comedians or some of these entertainers, get to Kevin Hart, give some of these people, the commentating, especially, if you're not in the stands, because like we've been in boxing, we've seen live boxing. It's boring because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's saying anything and you're just waiting for a hit, just so you can be like, ooh, for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? But some of these guys, if you're watching on TV, man, I get it. You got to have the analysis. You got to have the people with the background information, but get somebody in there that can, make it
Right.
lively and wake people up, man, because this stuff do get boring. That's why Joe Rogan's so good in UFC. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Joe Rogan knows his stuff, but two, Joe Rogan's a comedian first.
Exactly.
So like, it helps mix up that monotony. Like he will throw some facts out at you, and then he'll throw out some other stuff too.
So that was, I thought overall it was good. Definitely agree with giving Snoop a job and all these other entertainers. I think it was good. Going forward, I think that would be a good idea. Even because, like you said, if people are not going to actually be there, give them something to listen to while they're watching the fight,
Yeah,
which would be a good commentating.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, good stuff.
yeah, I enjoyed it though. I hope to see Mike back again, even at 54. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Mike in the ring, because this time I wasn't that excited. I was just like, I'll watch it, I guess.
He mess around and come back and challenge somebody for the championship.
Oh no, they said Evander want to get back in there with him. I don't know if
Really?
Evander really. I mean, I don't know what Evander doing.
Or
You know
like
what
a
I mean?
charity thing
I can't.
again?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that'd be good.
it would be. I mean, with the history that those two have, I think it's better left, left alone. Let's not rehash, because the first thing they're gonna do is talk about Mike biting his ear. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Then they're gonna bring up some of Mike's old stuff, and I think he's a different person. He's in a different space.
Absolutely.
Said
Yeah.
it. So like, let's just leave that and just give him. I mean, I'm not opposed to you giving him somebody older, but leave Evander alone. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel.
Well, we shall see, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you I'm moving subjects.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah. Yeah.
you watch the Dave Chappelle Unforgiven comedy special that he did? It's like 15 minutes long.
Mm,
I think I sent you a link.
uh-uh.
Yeah, boy, you missing out, man. He's basically talking about why he left Chappelle Show and how Netflix and HBO Max and I think Comedy Central, but HBO Max and somebody else was playing his old Chappelle shows,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't getting paid based on
He,
the contract that he was getting that he
he
had
said that
made.
on SNL too.
Yeah, but he went into more detail
Mm.
on this one. So I guess this is where all of the Twitter stuff that came from was because from uh, this special that I don't want to say it's a special because he does stuff at his house, well, that farm that
That
he's on.
ranch, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
So it was one of those type deals. It was like he wasn't telling jokes, but it was still funny. Kind of
Okay.
like that last one that he did.
Yeah, the one about the like the protests and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. It's only like 15 minutes long, but it was pretty good, basically telling you why. But then, the reason why I brought it up is because it's twofold. So one, I understand why he's upset,
Oh yeah.
seeing that these platforms are playing his stuff and not giving him money.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the other coin side, I see the organization, the network side of it too,
Mm-hmm.
because you did sign this contract and you did sign. I mean, this is legally binding stuff. So you can cry all you want to, but legally, I still own this stuff, and I
Yeah.
can do whatever it is that I want to do with it.
You know,
But
somebody already pulled it. I think it was Netflix.
Netflix
Yeah.
did, and he said that's why he rock with Netflix, because you know what I'm saying, they
But
do
they're
the
making the
honorable
money
thing.
anyway. I mean, he's making their money anyway, you know, and special
Absolutely,
stuff. So
I
of
don't want
course
to.
they're not gonna jeopardize that, you
No,
know, and send him to somewhere else. You know,
no,
nah.
absolutely not. Yeah, it's because all your specials are not going to be on Netflix.
Right. Yeah. But I see both points. Like, one, that's something that you labored over and that you created, and you would like to reap the benefits of it. But at the
Oh,
same
absolutely.
time, we cannot forget that Dave Chappelle left the show. He quit mid-contract. So how did that void his contract or his royalties, or like, is he getting anything from the Comedy Central, you know, replayed air syndication? It's Neil, you know, his writing partner, I can't think of his last name, Brennan or something like that. I don't
Yeah.
know. But is he getting any money? Because he might
Oh,
be getting a boatload of money right now off of
that's a
it.
good question.
You know what
That
I
might
mean?
be.
Because Neil didn't walk away. He finished the Lost episodes, and then he did some more stuff with Charlie Murphy and Donnell Rawlins before they finished the whole thing up.
Yeah,
So
Neil Brennan. That's his name.
yeah.
That's a very good question.
So
Like, is he the one who actually?
it's green lighting some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe the relationship between them two is shattered. I don't know. I'm just
I don't
speculating
know.
now.
Yeah, I don't
But
know either.
it's a
Yeah.
good question.
But
But
you
that would
know,
be foul if it was though.
if nobody's getting no money, that's 100% foul. Like, if all only person that's reaping money is Comedy Central as an organization, then that's messed up. I can
No,
almost
I'm saying
no, I know what you're saying.
if Neil was the only one getting money.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying from a contract standpoint, like, because they finished their contract, so they should have rights to those royalties. I feel like Darnell Rawlins, uh, Charlie Murphy's estate, whoever's
Mm-hmm.
handling that, um, you know, Neil and anybody else that was a part of that production team that put that together. They should receive some type of benefits. Now, I hate to say it because I love Dave Chappelle. I love the Chappelle Show. I love everything that he did for it, but he walked away. So legally, if he's not getting anything from it and that was put into the contract, then I mean, I hate it for you, but you know what I mean? Like, they have a right to go forward and sell that product in other markets, which is
Yeah.
what it seems
I
like.
think if they would have called it something else, he probably wouldn't be as mad. Like
Well,
if it was
you
called,
can't.
you can't what?
You can't change the name.
No. I'm talking about in the very beginning. Instead of calling it the Chappelle Show, they just called it something else.
It wouldn't matter because he's
In the
all
very
over it.
beginning.
But he's all over it.
No,
It's
I
his show.
understand that, but I think the whole thing also is about his name. Like, you're
Mhm.
selling my name without my permission, or I'm not getting any benefits with you selling
Right.
my name. So
Yeah.
if it was called, the glass of wine, you know what I'm saying, show instead of the Chappelle Show, would he still be as mad as he is right now?
I think so.
Maybe,
Just because it's
but
his
not.
content and it's his
Yeah,
baby. You
yeah.
know,
Honestly,
like if somebody took Kenya Burst, you know, he's the creator of Blackish. If
mhm.
Blackish airs and they cut him out of the profit, ABC or whoever's behind it, I think it's an ABC show. So it's under Disney now. I, I would assume, since owns ABC. So if Disney decides to sell it to Netflix, Kenya Burr's product, and cut him out, however legally binding, if it's possible, it's still he's still gonna be upset because that's his project. It's loosely based off his life. It's his, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Mhm.
what he's worked on all this time. So you can't just because your name's not on the marquee doesn't mean you get to cut that person out. Like, that's their show. Same thing with Chicago with Leah Wright. Like, these people are embedded into these shows. You know,
I agree. I definitely agree. But so, spoiler alert, a little bit at the end of his video that he did, Chappelle. he was talking about, he's trying to do it the right way by saying, hey, if you're going to play my stuff, pay me or don't play it at all. And he said, if you continue to play it without paying me, then I'm just going to come take it, which I don't know what he meant by that. How can he take it without, what I'm saying? What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, maybe starting some type of boycott or something like that.
Well, he already started the boycott by telling everybody to boycott Netflix or boycott his show on whatever platform that they're watching it on.
I don't know how you could take it. Legal action, I guess. He might have some claim to it, He might still have some claim to it. And maybe he's just left it alone. Like he's allowed Comedy Central to air these reruns.
Or
and
maybe
now he's at a point where he's like, nope, if you keep on pushing it and try to get money from other revenues, then I want in or nobody's getting anything.
That'd be dirty too.
You think so?
Yeah. If you saying if Comedy Central said that?
No. I'm saying if he's saying that to Comedy Central.
Oh, okay.
Like let's say I'm saying if he has legal claim to the Chappelle Show in partnership with Comedy Central, right? But since he walked away, he's just let them air his reruns. Like he's just like, whatever, man. Y'all can air my reruns. Y'all can start up Key and Peele, which is basically my show anyway.
Right.
Y'all go ahead. I'm not even gonna bother you. But then once they start shopping it out to other companies, he's like, wait a minute, now you're going too far.
Right.
Like now, either give me money or I'm gonna inject myself into this. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna inject myself.
I got you.
So that could be the case where he says, I will take it. Because it could still be his. We don't know. We don't know what the final outcome of him leaving. All we know is that he left and he went to Africa. That's the story.
I was thinking that, because it's legally his name, that he would try to go, maybe some loophole about him suing them about his name. Like, I want my name. And once he takes his name back, legally from them or whatever, then it would force Comedy Central or whoever to name it something different. So now if you naming the whole special something different, will people even watch it now?
Maybe. I don't know. And then on top of that, what you said, what if Comedy Central trademarked his name? Or what if he trademarked his name?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of legal stuff that's behind the scenes that, we just don't have a clear picture on. But
right.
I'm glad Netflix did take it down because I am on the side of Dave. Like, it's his stuff, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Let either pay him or take it down. And I do love the Chappelle Show. And I was actually kind of excited that like Netflix was getting it because I was like, that's something you can put on the background, just, look at it every now and again while you're doing other stuff and laugh. But not at the expense of, Dave's unhappiness, you know what I mean? Because like it's his show. Like that's silly to watch his show without him being happy about it. You know what I mean?
Right. So segueing into, ending that conversation with going into like hard work. You know what I'm saying? Here, this man is put his heart and soul into a craft that he built a brand around, which is, the Chappelle Show, and led to other endeavors of his. But in this day and age, does hard work still pay off? Are people still, looked upon as, people and companies having integrity about doing the right thing?
Yeah, I think so. It depends on the company, but I think there is an overall nod to hard work that people still respect it. If you grinding out and you pushing out content or you doing your job, I think there's something to show for it. In the end, in the entertainment world, we're seeing that with Zack Snyder right now. With his HBO Max deal to be able to finish the Snyder cut of Justice League. Like that's kind of a nod to his hard work and to his situation that happened, and them recognizing, we did you dirty. It's time to fix this. So I think, and we're in an age, especially in the entertainment, to me, and I'm a little far into it. I've always been kind of far into it. Like reading magazines or reading online posts and stuff like that to get the inside scoop on what's happening behind the scenes and stuff. So I've always kind of known some of the behind the scenes directors, producers, and stuff like that. But I think we're in an age right now where like certain people's names mean something to the product because it speaks to their hard work. You hear Will Packer, you know what I mean? Like it speaks to his hard work. I brought up Kenya Burse earlier. Like you hear his name, like it means like you kind of get a sense of what his product gonna be. You hear Steven Spielberg, you know what he's gonna do. Martin Scorsese, you know what I mean? Like we
Michael
all
Bay.
watch. Yeah, Michael Bay. Well, you definitely know what you're gonna get with Michael Bay.
Explosions.
So like you start to hear these names, man, and you like, oh, okay, I get the general sense of what their products is gonna be, good or bad. You know what I mean? If I hear I can't even think of his name because he's non-existent anymore, but the dude that did the X-Men.
Ryan Singer.
Bryan Singer.
Bryan Singer. Yeah.
Bryan Singer is trash. I said it. I don't care. I'm not taking it back. He ruined X-Men for me. He ruined my whole childhood. Like the one thing that I wanted in the world was a good X-Men movie. And he took that from me. And like, I would never watch one of his movies because I think I would automatically think it's trash.
Yeah, because you basing it off that trash movie.
Basing it off of what he's done previously. And then it makes me rethink what I thought was a good movie in The Usual Suspects. Like I gotta go back and be like, is this a good movie or is it just a good twist?
Right. What a twist.
It's really just a good twist. You know what I mean? Like if I hear M. Night Shyamalan, I'm like, it's not really for me.
Right. Yeah, you really got to give him a second. Like maybe no.
Yeah.
I won't.
So, you know,
but
that's the people's names and their work ethic, you know.
Yeah. But I was also talking about not outside of celebrities. So, you know,
no, absolutely, yeah.
Because we're in COVID, you know, this COVID season, I say, then everybody's working from home, doing virtual stuff. You know, are you still, is it still built into you as a person who was doing hard work, you know, while you were going into a 9-to-5 and whatever else that you might have been doing? Is it still built into you now that we're in this COVID season to continue to do that hard work that you was doing, but now you're at home?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I don't if you grow up knowing hard work, having a good work ethic. You've seen that. You know what I mean? That's nothing that you just one day was like, either you seen it or you didn't see it, so you wanted to be it because you saw laziness on the other end. You was like, I'll never be that. You know what I mean? Or you're like, I see my father doing this or my mother doing this, so I want to emulate them as I grow up and have that hard work ethic. So it don't go away. It adjusts, especially in this COVID season. I think it adjusts when you're having to balance kids, you know what I mean, their schooling, and then, you know, you got people that are working full-time jobs and in school themselves, you know what I mean? Like you can't, that's tremendous work ethic, you know, to be able to balance a day like that. Just dealing with the online virtual learning in itself is balanced, even if you
absolutely
nothing else, you know what I mean? Like a kid, a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 13, whatever, you know, coming to you every 5 minutes, like the internet's down, or this is happening, or this is happening. You know what I mean? You like, can I sit down for a second? You know, you just want that break. But so that work ethic, I don't think ever leaves. And now on the flip side, from a corporate standpoint, do corporate remember without seeing you? You know what I mean? Like, because you can be a hard worker when you're in the factory or when you're in the office. You're like, man, Lamar's a go-getter. We know this. But then we don't see Lamar for 2-3 weeks, even though all your work is done. Just because they haven't physically seen your face, then all of a sudden they're like, hey, anybody heard anything about Lamar lately? You know, you doing your job. You're doing it the same way you've been doing it. You know what I mean? But now that they ain't seeing you, all of a sudden they start to question whether you're doing anything. And you're like, man, what you talking about? Like, everything's the same. Like, I'm still, like, just because I'm not, you want a progress report? You want me to give you a status update on what I'm doing? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want from me?
Like, well, like work is getting done. You ain't hearing from me because the work is getting done.
Right. Which is what I've ran into that not in COVID, but way before that. Like, because I switch from days to nights sometimes. So like when I go to nights, you ain't gonna hear from me because I'm the type of person that's not gonna come tell you what I did. I'm only gonna come to you when I need your level of authority. Right? I've reached my limit. I need something to get done. So now I need you to step in, or I need authorization to do something. So those is really the only reasons why I'm gonna come to you. Otherwise, I'm gonna handle it on my level because that's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So if you're not seeing me, that should be a good thing. But they don't look at it that way. They're like, man, he ain't doing his job. Who ain't doing their job? Tell me what I'm not doing. Oh well, you ain't do what didn't I do? Let's go down the line. What's my job? Have I been here?
Right.
I've been showing up on time. Have I been executing all my additional duties or whatever it is that I got to do? Yeah. So what am I not doing? Well, we just don't see you. So you want me to stay over just so you can say hi? That's not my job. That's not part of my job. Like, what do you want? So, I had to deal with that, man. So, but my hard work never left, but they'd be like, oh man, you slipping. Ryan, you was one of our top goal getters. Now you didn't slip. How I slip? I didn't slip. You slipped seeing me. Come to nights and see me. You know what I mean? Just because I'm not always like, you might come into my office and I'm not always like plugging away because I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm not a procrastinator when it comes to work. Like I'm already done. I'm over that. So like that gives me time to be able to laugh and joke at work and stuff like that. Where some people are on the flip side, like they laugh and joke first, and then come the weekends they got to come into work to finish up what they should have been
grind it out.
in a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I don't work
Procrastinating.
that way.
No, I was just asking, just because of the like I said, the climate that we're in. So I was wondering, like, I agree with you, what I'm saying? Hard work was instilled in me. And I believe, a firm believer in, what I'm saying, my work showed my worth. What I'm saying? Not me telling you what I can do, but let me show you what I can do. That's me. So that's the reason why I brought that up. You got anything else?
I mean, it's a few things. So let's see.
Hey, man, you supposed to be running these stuff off the top of your head.
Well,
Talking
man,
about,
hey,
let
man.
me see.
Hey, brother.
I mean, I got like, what I'm saying, 7 other things I can, what I'm saying, run into.
Just for the record, I want to show that he looked down when he said I got 7 other things. So don't try me. You talking about supposed to be running stuff off the head. You just did the same thing I did. You looked straight down.
Nah, something was in my eye. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had to,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nah, okay. I got you. It was bright in there all of a sudden.
Exactly.
Now I was going to talk about living without the internet. In social media and just all these platforms, right? Because like we are of an age where we started that way. You know what I mean? Like I'm 37. Yep. Is what it is. I'm 37. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how I got there, but that's where I'm at. But I started out with the rotary telephones and the long phone lines. Okay. Yeah. So, we didn't grow up really with the internet. Matter of fact, we was like 97, 96, 97 when we got a computer.
Oh, I don't remember what year. I remember the first time I saw a computer I was in the 4th grade. 4th grade, I think it was. We were still living in Flint. First time I saw.
I didn't see one in Flint. I saw one. You didn't see one in Flint.
Yeah, it was the actual, what I'm saying, the floppy disk.
Yeah,
like the real floppy ones.
Yeah.
Like
The big ones, not even
Oregon
the 3.5.
No, the big junks.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Paper with the paper had the little dots on the side, like I can't even think of what it
right.
Tear those off. Xerox paper, you're like,
yeah.
Why didn't you just make paper without this? If everybody got to tear it off, like what was the point?
It was the way that it was probably the way that it had to be fed through the machine. So it was grabbing onto those holes on the side to keep it moving.
That's a good point. I never thought of that. That's a good point.
Thinking.
But I think it's crazy that like, we grew up that way. and just thinking about like how society is today. Like everything's online, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's online, everything's online. It didn't exist unless it's online for the most part, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
but
it
like,
did. Now it didn't happen unless it's online.
right, yeah, it's crazy. People are being internet famous or like social media famous, and I'm putting quotations up because you're really not I don't know who you are. I'm not on the internet, so like I don't know you. Just like you may not know me. That's cool. But it's just all, it's crazy to think back on. Like I think about like, you know, our parents or our grandparents. Like you leave the house for the day, we ain't gonna just say the internet. We'll just say just those cell phones and just modern day technology. Dude, you don't have any idea where that person just went. You know what I
No,
mean?
not really. I know where you told me you were going, but I don't know for
Right.
sure.
And it don't really make sense to track them down because you don't really know where they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like if I say, hey, I'm going over to my mama house for a minute and I don't go there, that's the only location you can go to just figure out whether I'm there or not, or call. So if
Mhm.
I'm not at that location, even if I just went down to the street to the grocery store, you have no idea. So one, how did that play a factor into people's paranoia of like, what is this person really doing? If it did. And two, how did it play into like people getting away with stuff all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like in today's society, uh, you can be out somewhere, somebody could be taking a picture, and then you just caught in the picture, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
in the
just saw,
background.
dude, I just saw some NBA player just got caught up where his wife found a picture of him with what's her name? Lisa Lauren something. One of
Uh
these like Instagram famous chicks.
huh.
Like he in the airport holding hands with her.
In the
Busted.
background.
Busted. Like he didn't pose for that.
Right. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying though. I mean, even for the people who not on the internet. So
Mhm.
we got into a point to where even for the people who are not on social media, like you know what I'm saying, you're not on social media, but for the people that you went to school with, whether it be in high school, like if you was, I know you're not a real, you know, saying social guy. So you don't hang out with a whole bunch of people is what I'm saying. But for people who did hang out with a whole bunch of people while they was in high school, college and whatnot, don't, if you're not on social media, then you find out about things a different way. Meaning like if you miss somebody's birthday or somebody's, you know what I'm saying, passed away or somebody had a kid, you know what I'm saying, because you're not on social media and following that specific person's life, the only way that you'll know is through some random phone call that you might get one
Yeah.
day.
Or random encounter. Like you just bumped into
Right.
somebody.
And then yeah, like you said, you bump into somebody and you be like, man, hey, how you been? You know what I'm saying? Then you look down and you know what I'm saying, they got a kid. You're like, well, when you get a kid, you know, man,
Yeah.
she's 7. Like, we ain't talked to since in 7 years. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, man.
Nah, I can 100% relate to that because I don't know anything that anybody's doing unless I talk to you on a regular, which is, I'm not mad at it at all because some of this stuff is fake. Yeah, I
Mhm.
said it. Some of y'all friendships and relationships is fake online. Like you don't care about them people. Like that's one of the reasons why I'm not too messed up about it because I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. I don't if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you for the most part. You know what I mean? There are some exceptions where I'm like, man, I do kind of wonder how this person's doing or how this person's doing, especially family, you know, because you may
Mhm.
not be connected to all your family, but you still love them. But it's like friends that I went to high school with or people that I was associated with. Like it's crazy how like I'll bump into somebody be like, oh man, what's up, man? Like I ain't seen you in a long time. What you been up to? Uh oh, you don't know me, do you? You don't remember me? Nah, bro, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. Like, oh no, man, we used to hang out, blah, blah, blah. Give me places that I remember, you know what I mean? Like we used to be at this place and this place. I'm like, dude, I have no, because I haven't kept up with you. So now
Mm.
you have aged over the years and you don't look exactly the same or something. Like, man, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Like, how I hope you're okay. You're doing well. Good. All right. You know, right?
And
You know
keep
what I
keep it
mean?
moving. Yeah.
Yeah. like you seem excited to see me, but like I don't even know who you are. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I feel like on social media is kind of just a similar thing where like I think one person is probably more excited about the other person, you know what I mean, that you're following. Or I just don't feel like it's a fluid thing. And I've said, I don't know if I said it on here before, but like a turning point for me is I went to Fist Homecoming one year, right? Happy to get out, happy to see people, reconnect. Like, you know, this person graduated 4-5 years ago. This person graduated 2 years ago. You know, I just quit about a year ago, you know, because I didn't graduate Fist. So I'm at this party and I'm like, oh man, this goes such and such. I'm gonna go holler at him, dap up or whatever, hug, whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, how you been? Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, yeah, nah, you know, said something real quick, like I'm married now. Oh, what's up? Walked off. And I was just standing there by myself. And I was like, why am I here? Like that was clear. Like they clearly don't care about me. Like I was excited for about a few people. They're all talking to somebody else. Like, why am I here? You know what? I really don't care. Like, I really, what do I really care about? Nah, I'm good. I'm done. I ain't been to a homecoming since. I not that I don't, you know, because I still have a close knit group of friends that I went to Fist with. So like sometimes I do, you know, they'll be talking about somebody and be like, oh, how are they? But a lot of times they'll bring up somebody and I'll be like, I don't have no idea who that is. Do you have a picture? Because I don't know who that is. And they'll be like, oh, nah, man, you know them. They used to be with such and such and this person. Who are they?
just out there.
I don't know the other two people you just named off.
Dude,
like,
you like on an island all by yourself over there somewhere. Nah, but I mean, I think that if you take away social media now from today's generation, like they wouldn't know what to do because they're so ingrained in it right now.
Man, it's clear. It's clear because a huge problem is cyberbullying, right? And my solution to cyberbullying is get off the computer. They can't bully you cyberly if you're not on the computer. Like it's that simple. Close your computer and nobody can say anything to you. I mean, of course, I take that back because that's a very generic statement.
Yeah.
They can continue to say stuff about you because the internet don't just go away. So I do recognize that. But like your feelings might not be as damaged until you get somewhere where it's a lot of people and they be like, oh, I saw this about you and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So don't think I'm ignorant to it. I'm being wild right now.
Yeah, you had to backtrack yourself. Yeah.
But like if everybody just closed their computer, then
everybody, there you go.
Away.
Yes, right. There you go.
So
a better statement.
You know what I mean? Like it seems like it's should be easier to overcome than what it is, but it's a serious problem because some people just don't want to give it up too. On top of that, you know what I mean? And some people feed into the negativity, and it hurts them. So
absolutely.
You're absolutely right. If you take that away from them, if they hang on to the negative and you take that away, you know what I mean? Like they ain't gonna have no idea what to do because they were even willing to hang on to the negative.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know what I'm saying, just everyday life, just simple things like going from point A to point B even. So many people are just so ingrained on just, you know, navigation systems.
You got a map? You got a map in your car?
Do I have a map? My map is up here, brother. You know what I'm saying? I got 40 years of map.
Go somewhere new.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That'll change.
You ain't had to plot a course in a long time, man.
Not a long time. But I remember, you know what I'm saying, I remember going on the computer and, you know what I'm saying, and mapping out my location because there was no navigation.
Right. Yeah.
I remember pulling out an actual map.
Yeah, and drawing the line.
Because there was no internet.
Absolutely.
But today, you can't. You can teach that still. That's, you know, those are skills, valuable skills. I think, you know, almost survival skills. If you know what I'm saying, if this guy for say, you know what I'm saying, something bad happens and like the power grid and everything just goes down, like then what?
Right. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest, right? It's not going to be the survival of the fittest. It's going to be survival of the old heads. Like, we're going to just get wiped out. Like,
It's
because
all
they
the,
don't know, you know what I mean? Like, they just don't know, and it's not really their fault because they've been
it's
provided
not.
a tool that is utilized for these things, right? It's
Hmm.
utilized for directions. It's utilized for like, I don't know how to spell no more. Why would I? I don't have people numbers memorized no more. Why would I? It's all in my
Hmm.
phone. Why would I do all that? Like, this
Right.
is why use that brain power when I can just swipe up, you know what I mean, or whatever. So uh I'm guilty of it too, but I do retain some skills, you know what I mean, like navigation and stuff like that. Like I can I remember one of the best pieces of advice you gave to me. Uh I called you one time. I was at Fist driving around Nashville and I was lost. Like I missed my turn or something. And I called you. I was like, dude, I don't know where I'm at. I'm over here by such, 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 such. It was like probably like 2 a.m. or something. You was like, Nashville's a Nashville's a big circle and hung up on me. He was like, Nashville's a big circle, just keep going. I was like, that's not an answer. Like, oh man, like, it's gonna be bad. And then I just kept going. Then all of a sudden, like something looked familiar. And I was like,
uh,
oh, I know where I am because I've looped around.
I don't remember that. And then for you to say that it's like the best piece of advice that I gave you, that's kind of bad.
Nah, because it was good advice. It was just like, man, just keep going, you'll figure it out. Like, and I did. Like sometimes you gotta get lost to know where you're going.
Man, that's exactly what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how you got to get lost. Like you said, get lost to figure out where you're going. You got to, fail at something before you can get it right. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Rather than just having stuff handed to you,
Oh
so
man.
I definitely agree with all of that.
Yeah. I mean, this a trophy era, right? Like we still dealing with this trophy era stuff,
Yeah.
man, where like everybody gets a participation medal or award or something, man. Like everybody's got to be included. Nobody can be excluded as a winner, as a champion.
Hmm.
Uh, and it bleeds over to everything,
To their adult life.
man. To the workplace. Like I'm not. I've dealt with it. I dealt with it today. Like,
I don't know if you want to say what you're about to say.
no, it's not bad, man. It's just a simple fact that like I was critiquing somebody, and in giving them critiques, I was hitting them with some positives too. Like not big, like it was
Hmm.
more negative critiques than it was good critiques, 100%. But I was trying to because I've learned over the years as a supervisor that I do need to change my approach a little bit because I do tend to be all negative sometimes. Because like I as a person, I want to know everything I did wrong so I can get it right the next time. That's how
uh,
I learn. They don't learn that way.
yeah,
They
that's what I'm about to say. That everybody learns differently.
yeah, they need compliment sandwiches for the most part. So I was trying to do that, you know. Hey, you did this part right, but then you messed this up. This was a critical error. That you can't do that. You know what I mean? So at the end, I was like, "You got any questions?" It was like, "Did I do anything right?" And I was like, "I gave you compliments within it. Like, what are you looking for?" And then I had another old head. He was like, "He wants a trophy. That's what he wants." And then he just walked off. I was like, "Oh my god."
I remember you telling me a story of somebody who was basically in the same boat. I think, but it was a female. I think it
Oh
was,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he was basically it was the same thing. Like
Nah,
they
yeah,
they
that's what it reminded me of too, man. Like straight up, like okay, because I can't tell this story because she's long gone, but like this is girl Sabrina. She was
you
working
had to say
at.
the name.
She ain't gonna listen to this. Whatever. It's a million Sabrinas out there. Track her down. Whatever. But she was. I was trying to train her because she had issues, problems. I'm pretty much an MP security forces in the Air Force, but it's pretty much an MP military police for those that, So, um, so I was trying to teach her how to like arrest people and stuff like that,
Hmm.
apprehend, deal with domestic situations and all that type of stuff. And she messed something completely up. Like she entered the building wrong. Like she addressed the people wrong. She let them argue and stay, because you're supposed to separate people. She let them stay in the plain view. She got up in somebody's face and she ended up. We paused for a second, put on headgear, and she ended up getting boxed out you know, it wasn't a Nate Robinson situation, but you know, I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh my God, like we might want to take a step back on this one. But yeah, at the end, so I'm like, yeah, this was bad. Like you didn't really do anything right. Like I really have, like, we just need to start over. Cause like I have nothing good that I can tell you. All I can tell you is that everything went wrong. And she was like, yeah, but I showed up on time, right? Or she said, I got here quickly. I was like, what does that matter if everything else could have failed? And like she kept asking me, like, but I got here quickly. Like she just wanted something positive.
Some validation, yeah, something.
I did something good, right? No, like, yeah, you did get here quickly, but I'm not going to tell you that. Like, I'm not going to agree with this. I'm not giving you a trophy for that. Like, the whole thing is catastrophic failure, right? We need to start over from the ground up. So I can't give you anything positive. And like she's just clamoring. I hurt her feeling so bad that I wouldn't give that little sliver of
hope.
I wouldn't do it, man. That's not how I can't. I'm not
that drill sergeant, man. You need to come up with the, you know what I'm saying, the SWOT analysis, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go out with a strength, the weakness, the opportunity, and then threats. So you gotta like balance it out whenever you're talking to them. You can't just be like, no.
I mostly don't. You know what I mean? Like I'm probably a little harder than some, but like most of the time I'm cool. I'm laid back. But when you mess up something, like
but we the same. So I know, like, so we the same. So you can like pretty much cuss somebody out without cussing them out. So I know that. But so I know that's what you probably do. Nah. So when you're not doing this right here, you're probably saying it in a nice way where it's cutting them down.
I don't do that, man. That's not me.
Well, I do it.
I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, all right.
But to my I don't know. To my defense, I chose a career path where I felt like I could be hard on people. You know what I mean? Like you think military.
And once upon a time, you could.
You could be. You could choke somebody out back in the day. You know what I mean? Not today. You got to be nice. Give them compliment sandwiches and stuff, man. Like that's one of my number one things when people give me feedback. It's like, man, like you good, but and you come too hard sometimes. I'm like, are we not in the military? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I went to Google. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't see a latte when I came in. Like, in a building with asbestos. Like, you want me to be nice? Like,
that's funny. Oh man. Going back to when you were talking about the social media, so I'm going this way.
All right, go ahead.
All right, but I'm on the same subject as social media ish. So, do you think that I heard this on some YouTube video or something that I was watching, and when he was talking about how everybody on social media is like trying to become insta famous or an influencer, like you were saying, which is basically pointing all these millions of people to them to say, "Hey, look what I'm doing." Mm-hmm. But the video was talking about why are we so much on this social media trying to be, these influencers or, these personalities to have all these people see what I'm doing rather than what we were put on the earth to do for it. But so if you were a Christian, you would say you were put on this earth to point everybody back to Christ instead of pointing everybody to you. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? That's why I think it was a strong point that video made that I never thought about.
It's true. I mean, look at what we doing. I mean, we kind of caught up in that too in podcasts, and podcasting's kind of caught up in that as well. Mm-hmm. We think we're so important that people want to listen to us. We're hoping that, you know what I mean? Like that's the goal is like, hopefully people like what I say. So they listen and tune in, mm-hmm. They subscribe and they like, so we're caught up in that as well. Hopefully, they get some positive because it's, we do drop, I think some little knowledge here and there. So hopefully they're getting something positive out of this, and that's kind of the point of this, is to give some brotherly knowledge. You know what I mean? Something to pass on to people and stuff like that. See how we think and tick. But for some people are clout chasing. They just want to be famous. They want people to know who they are.
Right.
They want money. Some people are just doing it for money. They don't want to go work a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? They just want people to pay them to sit around and do their regular life or whatever they have created as their regular life. You know what I mean? Whether that's twerking or changing clothes or playing video games or I get every now and again I go on YouTube, right? Because I don't have a lot, to look at in social media. So
that is your social media.
Social media. So I normally stay in my suggestions, right? These are the videos based on my algorithm that they think I like. So I normally that's my lane. That's where I stay in. That and people I subscribe to. That's on the left. This is on the right. In the middle is the popular. That's what the world says. This is a good video.
Mm-hmm.
I look at them things and I'm like, who the hell is watching this? Like, who? Like, but it's like it blows my mind what the rest of the world is into. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so strange. But to kind of bring it back to what you're saying is it's not pointing to nothing a lot of times. You know what I mean? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's good stuff. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of times it's pointing to nothingness or makeup tutorials. And if that's what you need in your life to feel good about yourself, hey, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because some of these people are.
I'm talking about even the watchers. You know what I mean? Even the subscribers and the watchers and the people that's doing the clicks. Like, do you if that's what helps you move about your day, then by all means. But like, to me, it's kind of I don't know. Like, but I don't watch the best content all the time either. So
right. Yeah. Like, everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's. I guess I'm gonna put this in like therapy. To cope with whatever it is that they got going on in their lives. It might be, you know what I'm saying, to look at all these different videos or maybe even do their own content to escape the reality of the world that they've been living in, you know what I'm saying, for that 9 to 5 or whatever that they may not totally enjoy, but creating this particular content might, you know what I'm saying, make them feel a little bit better about themselves. So mental health and mental space is, you know what I'm saying, is a tricky, fickle area. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. There's no one magic pill for everybody. So, you know what I'm saying, everybody got to do their own little things, you know what I'm saying, to get through their own little, you know what I'm saying, their things throughout their days.
But I mean, I would say the vast majority of us we're probably not doing what we're supposed to be doing in our free time or in our giving the correct percentage to God, or giving, whatever you do, you should be giving honor. Like, as a Christian, whatever I do, I'm supposed to be giving honor to God. I just should be trying to point people back to God. I can't say that everything that I do does that. You know what I mean? If I'm being honest with myself. So, and when you look at some of the other videos that get put up, like, there's no message, there's no semblance of a Christian or of a word or even living a good life. You know what I mean? Really, because most of the time it's something that's narcissistic or something
most
that
of the
is
time.
Yeah, or it's talking about wealth. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It's all about money and greed and all that type of stuff. So what picture do that paint to the kids that watch it? Or the impressionable people that are watching this content as well. Like, it's distorting their viewpoint on what the world is and what it has to offer at times.
Am I getting low? I feel like I'm sinking down in this chair.
I didn't notice it. I felt like you leaned back for a second.
I'm looking at you, it's looking at me. I'm like, man, how am I so low?
No, I just got got my camera angled.
No, I thought it was an interesting thing. So that's why I thought I'd bring that up real quick. So jumping back on this side, I went over here, so I'm coming back. Mandalorian.
Terrible segue.
I told you. I told you. I went over there and I came back. So Mandalorian, Rosario Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Great episode.
Yeah.
What's the Baby Yoda's name is? Grogu.
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 Yeah. I didn't like the name. I have to tell you, I didn't like the name.
It doesn't fit. Like
No.
I don't know what it is. I mean, you got Yoda, right? I'm gonna get nerdy. You got Yaddle, who's also the same species. So far we've seen 3. Yoda, sorry. Yandi. Is that what I said?
What?
Nah.
No, Yaddle.
Yaddle. Yeah. I'm way off. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are. Like,
and then Grogu. Like, you got 2 Y's and then you just threw this crazy G out there. And the last part sounded like Groot to me, really. Like, and you already got the comparison between Baby Groot and Baby Yoda or Grogu. Yeah. So it's a weird name for them to pick, if you ask. But he responded very well to it. So that's his choice. Like when Mando finally said it, he was like, huh? Like,
what would have been funny if they would have gave him a regular name like James? Like James? That would have been funny.
Yeah.
But I think the overall the episode was pretty good.
I know it started out strong, man. Like, it's nothing like hearing that lightsaber sound. Like, it's classic. It's classic. So, and then to see the lack of makeup that they put on Rosario Dawson to play as Ahsoka, like, it's crazy. Like, I was like, did they model her? Like, did they model the cartoon version after Rosario Dawson at some point? Like, because like they fit. Like,
I think so too.
You have to do nothing.
I think that what they were saying is that the person who played her voice in the cartoon was what I hear, it was a better fit than Rosario.
I looked her up.
Did you?
I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. I think Rosario's face, because she has her facial structure, like she has like strong cheekbones and all that type of stuff. Like, it just fits that. It fits that cartoon face better. Like, I think this is perfect casting. The likes of like Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark. Like, I couldn't see anybody else stepping into this role right now off of one episode.
I need to Google her, the cartoon woman voice, to see who she actually was.
I think people just get pent up on having voice actors bleed over into real live action, but everybody shouldn't do that. Like, because I've heard that about Kevin Conroy, who does Batman in the animated series from the 90s, and he's done Batman since then. And they wanted him to be Batman so bad, but he doesn't. When you look at the man, he's not Batman. You know what I mean? He doesn't fit.
Nah, this woman, her name is Ashley. Nah, she don't look like her at all. Yeah.
Not at all. You would have had to do so much makeup on her to get her to fit.
Yeah, Rosario was a good fit.
Yeah. It's not like because like 2 episodes ago we got what's that? It was another Mandalorian that Bo-Katan, who's played by Katie Stackhouse, who voiced the character, who the character was modeled after. Like, so it's a perfect fit that you get Katie Stackhouse to play it because you modeled the character after her to begin with. This didn't happen. Same thing, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. They modeled Nick Fury after Samuel L. Jackson. They've said it. It's facts. So when you go out and get Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, it's perfect casting. You can't deny it. You know what I mean?
So what you're trying to tell me is that Patrick Stewart was modeled after Xavier in the original cartoon X-Men.
He wasn't, but
I know that.
You get a bald white man with the calm precision that sits in the chair all day, you know, as Picard, Jean-Luc Picard. Like, it was a no-brainer, man. Like, I remember as a kid, like, man, if they don't get Patrick Stewart, that's the only thing the movies did right. And they gave us Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, which I can't take that away. Wouldn't have been my choice. I don't think it would have been anybody's choice, but it worked out very well for everybody. So,
Speaking of Wolverine, now did you hear who they might get for his reboot?
nah.
What's the actor from The Boys?
Oh, nah. I
don't
doubt
think
it.
so.
I doubt it. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of his name right now. You looking him up?
I'm looking him up.
But he was in Thor. He was just in Thor in
Thor.
Ragnarok.
Who?
The guy we talking about. Look his name up.
Who's in Thor?
Yes. Carl Urban is who we were talking about, right? Kyle Urban.
Yeah, Carl Urban.
Yeah. He's in Thor. He's the executioner.
Yeah, you're right. He had a bald head.
He had a shake weight at some point.
I don't know why
he would be good at the role. Don't get me wrong. Like I would love Carl Urban as Wolverine. He's a little tall too. I think we should go a little smaller. But I think he would have done great. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna cast him because he's already been in the MCU. He's
kind of old too. He's already 48 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I that's one thing I can't wait for is the new X-Men.
New X-Men cast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Something
different.
I mean, and if they don't put Gambit in this movie.
Right. I was just
Channing Tatum would have been a good Gambit too.
I think he would have too. I was just thinking about the X-Men series earlier. I was talking to one of my friends, and we was actually talking about Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. And I was like, I'm happy that she's in this role because she's been in the geekdom for a while, right? She's been a comic book fan. She's voice acted Wonder Woman before and other comic book characters. So she's always been around. So for her to get a live action hero, not just a character in Cage and Daredevil and all that stuff, but to actually get a hero's role, like I'm happy for her. Same way I was for Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam. Like I was super happy for him. And then as spoiler alert for Shazam, as the kids grew up, it was another guy. There was a couple of people in that cast. I was like, oh man, that's nice. Like when the kids, grew up. So that's how I felt for Olivia Munn in X-Men when she got cast as Psylocke. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Olivia Munn gets cast as Psylocke.
Like she has been like awesome. A geek of all geeks.
Yeah. They did her dirty. Like she was barely in that. Bryan Singer, she was barely in that movie. Like her costume was ridiculously uncomfortable. She just come out and said it. Mm-hmm. Like it was just bad, man. It was a bad movie. Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse was not terrible. The best choice, you know what I mean? Because Idris Elba was so much better of a choice, I think, which was who else they were kicking around at the time. It's just, sometimes you get good casting and you get hype about something and then like you just get let down. So I'm happy that Rosario worked out in this episode and hopefully she gets her own spinoff because I would love to see that.
Spinoff?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
It's some story there, man. Like first of all, it's got to be a spinoff of The Mandalorian. This can't be your only Star Wars show. It's going to be more.
I agree. Disney still have to crank out some other stuff, not just keeping the same stuff in rotation. I definitely agree with that.
I don't think you cast Rosario Dawson in that famous of a role because in the Star Wars universe, Ahsoka is a very famous non-Jedi because she's not a Jedi, but she was a Jedi. She's the Padawan to Anakin. Anakin Skywalker taught her how to fight and taught her how to be a Jedi, who turned out to be Darth Vader for those that are not caught up in everything. But So that's a huge character, and you just launched an actress that is well known.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a one-off. Like, you can't make that a one-off. You have to give her her own show at this point.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
just give it to the girl that voice acted her and put
but I
makeup on
mean,
her.
but like you said, they did the same thing to her. She's pretty much in one-off movies or one-off series.
Now, she was actually the interconnecting storyline between the Defenders before they finally came up with the Defenders show. Because she was in all of them. That was her sole role, was to interconnect them all.
Yeah.
She just didn't have a good role.
No, she didn't. I mean, it was okay. And I wouldn't say it wasn't bad because it was just okay.
But she was in every show for multiple episodes. That's money. Like, you're not. What I'm saying is, you're not getting Rosario Dawson for one episode or something. Like, you're not going to cast her on Law and Order SVU as the killer of the week. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you get somebody with that much fame that you probably had to come out of pocket for, when you could have went and got, some up and coming
voice actor?
Yeah.
So, what else you got?
I think I'm about out, man.
About out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good conversation. We did.
Real quick. So, because I'm gonna go back to the Gucci Man versus Jeezy versus, right? Because Gucci kept getting on Gucci. No, I'm sorry.
Gucci kept getting on Gucci.
I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I worked today.
I did too.
Gucci kept getting on Jeezy for not playing new music, right? But then both of them said that they had an album releasing that night. So I listened to both albums. Gucci album is all old stuff. It's a collaboration, like it's like a collection. It's all old, stuff. Jeezy came out with a whole new album. So I'm just throwing this out here that you can't get on somebody for playing old stuff and then you come out with a whole album with old music and then they come out with an album with all new music. I mean,
it was maybe it was remastered.
Check your facts first.
Maybe it was remastered.
I just thought that was a little strange.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, hey, I still think Jeezy won that battle. I think
he did.
His new album is cool. It ain't what I wanted, but you know what I'm saying, who am I? But it was still pretty good. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I actually put in, I was listening to Thug Motivation 1-on-1 today.
Yeah, you got to.
I was like,
the whole album.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, brother. So to our fans and to the people who are watching this, you know what I'm saying, write us a comment and let us know what you want us to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it'd be a good idea, you know what I'm saying, that you had that we'll throw into our mix. You know what I'm saying? Also hit that subscribe button.
Hit it, please.
Hit it. Like the video.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody that viewed last time, man. Hopefully y'all came back for this one too, and we'll come back for the future ones as well.
Absolutely. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
All right. See ya.